Hey, good evening.
Good evening,
Welcome.
Paul. Good evening, everybody. How you doing, mate?
um, Cracking, mate.
Cracking. Good evening,
Yeah,
chat. We've got a.
I
We've got a
woke
go
up
on.
this morning feeling
Yeah,
like a 21-year-old.
go on.
I couldn't find one.
Ah,
Anyway,
well,
so let's just say, evening, Dom. Shout
yes,
out to Noxie, Kelsey, love. Chegs is in the room.
young Chegg.
Young Chegs in the room. Um,
Yes. Well, I've something
yeah,
to tell you, Chegg. I've something to tell you, Scott Chegg. I've
keep it
just
to
seen your
yourself.
granddad in his shorts, and you've got better legs. I've seen Levi in his shorts. He's got better legs than you,
Well,
granddad.
he's fucking 50 years younger than me. He will have. And I don't have all that shit on mine. I have hairs.
He's looking quite trendy tonight, Levi. He's got a Lambretta top on and a pair of shorts.
Well, actually, it's my son's top.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a nice top, is
He,
that?
he left it, and I thought, well, I'm fucking using that. I'm having that. It's mine now.
Well, just
So
remind
there
me.
you go.
Just remind me, chat. If I ever go to St. Paul, keep on my coat.
Yeah. Keep on your coat, man.
Anyway, my wife's
I
away
think
this
quite.
week, so
Oh, get
the
in,
dogs,
fill your boots.
if the dogs stir, I'll just take my off and leave you to it
Yeah,
for
well,
2
just
seconds.
put your foot up its ass and kick it out
Oh,
the
I
front
can't
door.
they're her babies. I can't do that. So yeah, she's gone.
Right.
She's gone to Scarborough for
Oh,
Monday to
that'd be nice.
Friday with her.
My sister's just left Scarborough. She's gone to France.
Right. Well, she's
My sister lives in Scarborough,
right. Well, she's gone to
and
Scarborough for Monday to Friday with her mother. And she's got a
oh,
sister lives in Bridlington.
all right. Well, we can't
She's
all be.
um, her sister's a radiographer or something. She does X-rays up at hospital. So
They're starting already. Look, Dom's just having a go now. Look, he's getting a little bit. What do you call it? Brave.
is he? Is he
Yeah,
joining
with
in?
his comments here, he's getting a little bit brave. Bloody stick will be out in a minute.
Well,
First warning. You're not supposed to bring up the bean tin. I'm telling you now. Paul can bring up the bean tin.
I'm off. Hey up. Knox on about baby already. We're off. Look, doing double act. So as I was saying, Paul, she lives in Bridlington, my sister-in-law, and she works at is it Scarborough Hospital?
Yeah.
Right. Well, she has to commute, so will she have to go far?
It's about 18 and a half miles.
Oh, it's not too bad then, is it?
It's not far enough, actually, is it?
Not far enough. Managed to get her to move to bloody Scarborough. She's a Bradford lass originally, but
All right.
yeah, she worked for the hospital in Bradford, and this opportunity come up to transfer over there. So she's been over there now maybe 15 years. She likes it.
All right, that's nice.
Likes it in Bridlington, yeah.
She's got a young
lass, like, she's got a daughter like who's like, you know, just getting ready for work, if you like, just coming to that age. But it's a lot of industry on course, you see, is there?
There's not all.
So I don't know.
If you can make candy floss, rock, and flog fish and chips, you're on a cracker. You've made it. You're on a roll.
It's all holiday trade, isn't it?
It's a bag of shite, mate.
So she's going to university to try and get a trade. So
yeah,
that's the only way, I suppose, isn't it? We all want to live at coast, unless you're born there like they. But
I don't want to live at coast.
You don't.
I don't.
How come you end up in old? Oh.
Well, I'm old.
Is that where old folk go?
Old folks go to Brid. That's where the old folks go. I ended up in Hull, and I'm sure I've told you before, Bobby, and you've probably not listened.
Probably.
But I think about 12 years ago, I was on the bottom rung of my life. I don't know how to put it really without trying to get people crying, but I was close to
an all-time low.
Myself, really.
Yeah.
You know, I was really, really close.
Right.
Hours away. In fact, to tell you the truth, I was hours away from it.
Right.
And just by chance, a lad who I'd known since he was 17 years old, and we'd worked together for a long, long time, sent me a message on Facebook. And I don't know why, but I looked and I thought, oh, yeah, right. So I sent him a message and he'd asked me something like, you know, how are you doing? And from ages, what's happening? And I just sent back and says, oh, sorry, Neil, but, you know, I'm at a bad moment in my life.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And he said, where are you? And I told him where I was. He said, I'll be there in an hour and a half. And he drove down from Hull to where I was living in Derbyshire at the time, on the streets. And
Wow.
he came, picked me up, he said, get in the car. And he brought me up to Hull, to his house. And he just walked me in and said, there you go. Here's your bedroom. Use it as your own house. I don't want any rent. I don't want any money. Just get yourself back to what you was, and we'll go from there. And saved my life. The man saved my life.
You were what a man. What a man he was.
I can't say anything any highly of him. He was an angel. He was just a knight in shining armor. What words can you use?
Well, if you don't believe in fate, you should do now.
I do believe in fate, and that was it.
Because all that's about is timing. He came along at the right time. You know, it's like anything, isn't it?
He came back into my life at the right time.
Yes.
You know, we hadn't spoken for about 10 years. Not, you know, we hadn't fallen out or anything. We just parted our ways. He wanted to go a different route than I wanted to go, and we parted.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just out of the blue, the message comes. And from there, he got me back on my feet. Unfortunately, he passed away about 2 years after he picked me up from cancer.
God bless the man, you know.
So, yeah, I don't know.
And you
just goes to show you, doesn't it? Like I've always said, as one door closes, another door opens.
Well, that story, you know, when I'll tell you a story of mine now. Then it's nothing like that. When I got divorced first time, we split with Mrs.
Sorry, I do apologise, Bobby, for laughing, but I was just reading Bibby's comment. Sorry, go on.
And I got divorced from first wife and 2 kids, and I didn't want it to happen. And she were off with somebody else, and I was left there, and I was devastated. And I went to work, and a lad come up to me at work, and he says, "Listen, just keep coming to work. Whatever you do, just keep coming to work." He says, and stick with it. And he says, in 2 years' time, you won't even remember being married to her. And I'll never forget them words. And he says, you'll pass that on to somebody else. And I have done since then, you know. It just shows, doesn't it, that there's somebody there to listen. And it's the most unusual people, or the people you don't expect. But just to lift the moment slightly, Noxie says, where is he? There we go. Noxie says, and then you met us, mental lot.
Yeah. But tell you the truth, it's not so bad because I'm not down on the bottom again.
No.
I'm floating.
You see, everybody's got a story to tell.
So let's just have a quick scan of who we've got in the room, because I've noticed a few coming in who are a bit new, I think. So you might be able to see it better than me, because you watch it on...
I can see Clary, the lovely Clary. We all love Clary to bits.
Benefit Britain, good evening.
Noxie and Bibby are having a fight, as always.
Yeah, that's always the same.
It's friendly puff talk. That's what it's about.
Yeah, Clary, good evening, Clary. No. Evening, Bibby, if I haven't said it, I do apologise.
Always, as always,
else coming in.
As always, Kelsey, the lovely Kelsey, keeps it all together. She holds it all together. How's she coping having 2 checks to deal with?
Fine. Fine. Anyway, just as a point of interest, if anybody's in the channel and watching on bobbies or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know that Scotch Egg is live tonight at 8 o'clock. Is there, and I presume Kelsey, in her own intimate, I was going to say intimate, infinite wisdom, will put a link up.
Yes.
So there you go. Look how quick that is. Yeah. Do you know she's on the ball?
Kelsey, aren't you? You're blessed.
Do you know she's the best thing that's happened to me since I got rid of that wicked witch down the south.
Well,
there you go.
Girl. She's been there for you, and she's been there.
Oh, she's the best.
Levi, and I think you both. She deserves a big hug off both of you when you see her.
I don't hug.
Well, you better start.
I'm not a hugger.
You're a bugger, not an hugger.
No, I know I'm a bugger. Levi's a hugger, but I'm not a hugger.
Right.
You know, I never have been a hugger. And, you know, this kiss on the cheek shit and all that, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so YS is YS in then. Good evening. Yeah.
Have we seen, has YS joined us before?
Yeah. I'm fairly certain. Yeah.
Well, listen, YS. He says they said they're driving, but big up everyone. Yes, big up YS, and I hope you don't listen too much because we that comes out with some stuff. We don't want you crash your car.
a tugger. Now that brings back a memory. There's a tugger.
We don't go down that road.
There we go. There you go. Granddad's a tugger. Now, when I was young, and we had a Butlins holiday camp at Filey.
Just say hello to Paul the Hat. He's just joined.
Yeah, good evening, Paul the Hat. Yeah, so we had sorry, my zip's just come undone. Where was I? Oh yeah, Filey, Butlins. And we used to go to Filey Butlins on a Sunday by bus from Braid. And it used to be 10 bob to go in for the day. Now, we always went in pairs. You know, I think I was 15, maybe just a little bit younger than 15, because I joined up when I was 15. So I was 14-ish. And we always went in pairs. And the reason we went in pairs is because the girls walked around in pairs. And you always had a cracking-looking girl and a pig with her. And we used to, I can't think of a proper word for it, but you know what I mean, don't you? An ugly girl and a really good-looking girl.
Right, of course, always.
Yeah, and we always used to call the ugly girl the tug. because the good-looking one was tugging her around. So you know, so when you were saying, right, where we go, we go for them two. Look, you can go for tug and all that t'other. So, well, that's just brought that memory back.
I'm not reading it out, but Bibby's put a modern version of that.
All right,
his generation call it. Can you see?
Right, okay, I'm not putting that on, Bibby.
Well, yeah, we used to go around in twos and say, "You having ugly one tonight, or have I got to have a?"
Yeah. But we called them a tug.
But in fairness, they probably said the same about us.
Yeah. You know, I was the good-looking. I always was the good-looking one of the two.
My dad told me, you know, my dad didn't think I was. He thought I was an ugly kid, and he always used to say, "Don't stand next to the bloody football star in picture, school picture. Don't stand to the big handsome one. Stand next to the ugly one. You've half a chance then." That's what he used to say to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, things change, but they don't change, do they? You know, the people will have the same terms for the same things now, but there'll be different names than what we call them.
Yes.
You know, because we used to have a language of our own. a gang language.
Yeah,
You know,
certain words.
no, the whole you could speak in this
All
gang
right,
language,
it's like a slang, like a.
and but what it basically what it was it was missing out letters of words.
All right.
You know, so you'd say something like, I can't remember exactly, but you'd say something like, "Oh, she's a Melly bugger," and nobody would know what you're talking about. And Melly was smelly. So, but you know, you could hold the whole conversation in that kind of language. And I presume they have got it nowadays, haven't they? Because they call, they say stuff like goat and
Well,
I don't know, all these
what
shit
you
they come
did
out
there
with. I've
was,
no idea what they mean.
I think we all did a little bit of that, Paul. You know, when you were your mates, you tend to use a little bit of coding, and they knew what you did mean.
Yeah. But they
But I
do
was
it now.
thinking,
It's
I was
just
thinking the
different.
other day about some words that I used to use as a kid, Yorkshire words that you don't hear anymore. And one were kegs. You know
Kegs, yeah.
What's that for?
Get your kegs on, lad.
Pants, aye.
Aye.
Yeah, get your trousers on. It was
Yeah.
called it. And another one was bint. I don't know if you've heard that one.
Oh, yeah, bint. Yeah. Girl. Bint.
That's a woman. That's a girl, aye.
Yeah, she's right, bint.
Anybody, maybe you'll be totally lost with these words. And you probably, to be honest, your Levi will be lost because them words have gone, haven't they?
Well, you're bringing them back because I'm starting to remember them now.
But they used to be, you'd understand them all the time, wouldn't you? But they used quite a lot. But they don't use them anymore. They don't use them anymore.
There you go. Kelsey used the word bint yesterday.
Did she? I don't in what sense? Because she won't be using
don't be asking naughty questions like that.
Yeah, but you won't be using that word, Kelsey. It won't what lads used to use. To call lasses.
Well, it's not necessarily.
Well, this where we come from.
So, greatest of all time, that's goat, is it? Right, there you go. Why can't you just say...
She says, Clarion Kells are bints. Yeah, it's old-fashioned words, isn't it? But maybe, I mean, Noxie might know them because it's a northern word, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's a northern word.
Pain, isn't it?
I thought it were a Yorkshire word.
No, I don't think it is. No.
But,
when I moved to Hull,
and
I got you get talking to people, and it's just gone out of my head the word I was going to use, but I'd always call a passage a passage.
Well,
then you'd have some people calling it a ginnel.
Snick it.
And then you'd have in Hull or Hessel, they call it 10 yard.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, just going down 10 yard. What the hell?
We used to call it a snicket.
Snicket, yeah.
That one. And ginnel and snicket was called around our way. And
I think I was a bit posh because we used to call it a bloody passage.
Passage, aye. But do you remember the word midding?
Oh,
rooftops of an outbuilding, you call it a midding. Big,
I've heard of it, but I've not used the word. But I've heard of it.
Terrace houses, if they had an old coal house outside, or some kind of outbuilding, toilet or something, it'd always have a big slab of stone on top, one big slab, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that used to be called midding because kids used to lake up middings. That's what we said.
They did, yeah.
Get down off that midding. But I mean, that might have been a West Yorkshire saying. I don't know.
It might have been, but I've heard the term before, but I can't. I wouldn't have known what it was, Bobby. Tell you the truth.
It's that big because you don't get stone that big now, do you? Huge piece of stone. Yeah, we used to call it that. It's words that the English language. I mean, they say that a new word goes in the English dictionary. One word a week. Every week there's a new word.
But some of them are absolutely fucking stupid, aren't they?
Oh yeah, but I mean, so that means that some are discontinued, if you like. They're not used anymore.
Yeah, but a lot of unused words come back into fashion.
Yeah,
it's a bit like it's a bit like trousers and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they go out of fashion, and then 40 years later, they're wearing them again. And you think, you know, it's like Oxford bags. When I was young, you used to wear Oxford bags.
Aye.
You know, and they went totally out of fashion, and then they come back in.
Yeah, they come back in.
And they've gone back out again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's
same with haircuts, isn't it? Now then, a bit of history there from Noxie. The word bint is actually Arabic for girl or woman.
Well, it's amazing what bloody Google will come up with, won't it?
Well, that. Hey, I've never met an Arab in bloody Yorkshire.
Have you?
No, I haven't met an Arab.
Oh, wow.
Not an Arab.
Loads of the buggers. They're everywhere.
What, if I did, I'd check him off. Shake him off. That's a bad joke, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. You know, I have to keep leaning forward because I think I've got the wrong glasses on because I can't read the comments.
Right. So, yes, you were saved, folks, from seeing Paul's legs. I come on tonight and he has it ready, and I came on a little bit earlier tonight and he's wandering right room in these shorts. I nearly fell off my chair. They're not I don't know if all chegs have got legs like that, but I know Scott hasn't. But bloody hell, Paul. I need to keep them covered.
Evening, Gilly.
Evening,
yeah,
Gilly.
That's why I sit behind the desk, man. Nobody ever sees it, do they?
No.
But yeah, it's forgotten. I've totally lost the bloody plot because I've totally forgotten what we were talking about, and my brain's just gone.
Well, we're on about old-fashioned words, you know, that go out.
Oh, and clobber, yeah, you know,
that go out of fashion and then come back in and close and that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this has happened to everybody. We've gone and got some when we were a teenager, and either my father or my grandfather has said, "Well, I got some of them in wardrobe. I used to wear them bloody 30 years ago."
Yeah,
it's happened to everybody, that, hasn't it? Because
it
looks.
Well, it hasn't happened to me because I didn't know my.
But it goes round. It comes back round again.
I thought somebody else was in the room with me then. But wow. Yeah. I think my mum's just turned in the back here, giving me a bit of grief.
We're getting a live thing here. You can't see out, Paul.
You can't. Well, you won't be able to see out. The bloody background's not real, is it?
We've only got your word for it.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody's okay in the chat. We're just reminiscing.
Paul the Hat, good evening. I don't think I said good evening to you, but I've seen you now.
For anybody who's just joined, we're reminiscing. We're going back in time, and we're getting a few more every week now. We're coming in, and it's nice to see.
Well, you know why, don't you? Because we've got the biggest draw of the week, biggest draw of the month. We've got Scott Chegg in the house.
He's got his
followers. You know, they want to see what he's doing.
Well, that's a good segue, because anybody wants to see what Scott's doing, 8 o'clock tonight, when you leave us, you can go over and see him. And no doubt, because we've given him a shout out, he'll give us a shout out.
He always does. Always does. Yeah. So,
yes.
Where we're going to go now? Anybody got any? Is there anything in the chat that I haven't seen? Or megalithic? That's a bloody big term, isn't it? Megalithic. Wow.
What's that mean?
Big.
Megalithic.
Megalithic.
I've not heard that one before.
Well, mega.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah. Break it down into its component parts.
What would it
anyway?
That just reminds me of that. I watched a program on lie detectors. I know it's totally out of the blue, is this? You know, lie detectors? These where they wire you up and questions.
Yeah.
Well, they call it polygraph. That's what they call it.
Yeah, they did,
polygraphs. And I was watching this fella on telly, and he's talking about he was a body language expert. He says a load of rubbish of them, load of rubbish. He says if you even think of the name, what it means, polygraph, it means poly, which means many, graph, which means graphs. So all the word polygraph means is lines, doesn't it? Up and down.
Yeah.
So he doesn't actually explain what it is. It just, yeah. I was just thinking, you just made me reminded that when you said pig.
Yeah. Again, I'm leaning forward to read the bloody comments. What?
They're having a right chatting to.
Yeah. Well, that's the point of it, isn't it?
Do you want to still
Somebody
leave
wants
it
to
to
put
it?
something in. Somebody wants to put something in that we can that'll trigger something in our nuts. You know, like Cheg's put in about a tugger. It just brought that thing back into me. Into my head.
Going back to languages you spoke when you grew up. I don't say half at words I used to. It's like
I say a lot more than I used to.
But like I used to be a lot more broader than I am. If I saw my mate, I'd say, "Where you bound?" I'd always say "bound" rather than "Where you going."
Yeah.
He'd say, he might say, "I'm bound fish oil."
Fish oil, yeah.
And I wouldn't say that now. I don't know why, but that conversation wouldn't happen now.
Because nobody else, when other people don't talk to you in the same.
Yeah.
So if you were talking to a Yorkshireman who spoke in
local dialect,
the dialect of Yorkshire, you drop back into it.
I probably would. See, I'm comfortable speaking with you, but if there's 4 or 5 in the chat, I don't know. I won't say I soften my accent, but I'm a bit more conscious about words I'm saying. Because what most folks say about Yorkshire,
Bobby, you know damn well that I'm not conscious about what I say, because whenever I open my gob, what's in there comes out.
No filter with you, Paul.
I don't have a thing in here saying, "Hey up, don't be bloody saying that." It comes out and I say it.
Yeah.
And you know that.
If you ask anybody outside Yorkshire about Yorkshire dialect, the first thing they'll say is they drop the word "the." Now you think about it, we do. I'm off to the shop. We don't say I'm off to the shop, do we?
No, but
we drop words. That's why that's what it is. But it is one of them things that I'm proud to be Yorkshireman like yourself, and
I am.
It's just a dialect we have. That's how we speak.
Evening, nice to see you.
I saw a programme going back a couple of years now, and it was an old movie reel picture of a Yorkshire farmer. And it's something like it 1950s, 40s. This film, it was really old. And they were talking to him, and nobody could understand a word. And he was talking in the original Yorkshire dialect.
Yeah.
And in 1940s, a hell of a lot of people would have understood him. But Yorkshire folk today, they'd say, "What the bloody hell's he on about?" So it just shows how it changes over years.
Well, funny enough, on the news yesterday, they were on about Wilfred Pickles.
Right.
Can you remember Wilfred Pickles?
I know the name.
Right. He was a Yorkshireman.
Yeah, but I need refreshing.
Yeah, well, he was the first newsreader reading the news in his own dialect. He was a Yorkshireman. And
local dialect.
It's local dialect, yeah. And I can't remember what it was on. I think it was on a war channel. They were speaking to the troops or whatever. I don't know what it was on.
Mm-hmm.
But the BBC picked it up and they put it on. And at the end, the bloke says, "Well, it's all well and good him talking about the news, but only those up north would understand what he was saying in his English, Queen's English."
Yeah.
Well, but yeah. So Wilfred Pickles was the first person to broadcast in a different dialect than. He used to have a name for it for BBC Speak, and I can't remember what the name was.
Well, they were ardent about that, weren't the BBC?
Yeah.
In the 1970s, you had to have this standard Queen's English accent.
It's a bit like the Yanks. They have a similar thing. The Yanks have a thing they called mid-Atlantic accent,
right.
and it's more of an English accent, but you know that they're thick Yanks.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And lots of actors use that dialect,
Right.
in their acting because it's English.
Yeah.
But it's not English.
Yeah.
It's American shit, what they call English.
Well, they can't even bloody spell, can they?
Well, they can't speak, can they, the idiots?
The Borodar language.
Let's not go there though, because
listen,
I'm not biting.
No, but they borrowed our language 300 years ago. And I say borrowed because we've only lent them it. They can't keep it. They borrowed our language 300 years ago, and they can't even spell with a U. They drop U on everything.
Yeah.
Bloody colour.
Shit on everybody as well.
Colour, C-O-L-O-R. I was writing that down at that spelling when I was 5-year-old.
Yeah.
What
I'm saying that, you know, lots of people nowadays, you know, English people write like they talk.
Yeah.
You know, so that if a word like a harbour, they'll say H-A-R-B-O-R.
That's how it comes out in America, you say.
But it's a U in there.
Yeah. It's
so it's just one of those things.
They call it phonetically. Is that the word?
I don't know. That's stamping it phonetics.
What? That's
philanthropy.
Another word.
Yeah. I'm not going there.
Phonetically, I think it is.
Phonetically, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Phonetically. We're breaking all these words down, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. They just didn't. It's like everything in America. They just take it and they don't pick it up right. They don't learn it right, you know, and they mess it up. But anyway, that's them, isn't it? The biggest and best according to them. I lived in America for a short while, Paul, you know, and they used to call me UK, nickname me, because I went there and I lived in a small village in Atlanta, so it wasn't the tourist area. So I used to mix with locals, and I used to go to the bar at night, and they used to say, "Hey, UK, tell us a story." And they were thick as pig shit, Paul. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I know.
One of them said, "UK, where's UK? Where is it? Is it near Canada? Hey,
yeah.
Is it near Australia?" I said, "You're opposite end of the world, mate." They haven't a clue. Anyway. I'm in this bar one night and they're talking about Bin Laden. You know, remember Bin Laden?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right. And he'd just been caught. And I said, well, it'd have happened different if British had gone and got him. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, how did you catch him? Well, they kicked door in and they got hold of him and they dragged him out and made a big fuss of it. Aye, and I said, do you know what British should have done? While you were kicking that door in, trying to get in, Brits had sneaked in window and sneaked out with him. You wouldn't have heard a thing. I says, that's the difference between us and you. We don't make a big fuss.
Yeah.
And you know something, they agreed with me.
Well, you're not wrong, are you? Because, you know, there's a lot of it on the news at the moment because of this thing that got his head blew off. I can't remember his name. Somebody said on the news he'll never be forgotten. I've forgotten him already.
Right.
Because I didn't even know him to start with.
Right.
But, you know, they had, I think, 80,000 or something yesterday in a stadium, saying he was, you know, he was God's chosen whatever.
Yeah.
It's typical of the Yanks. Bloody typical. It's God's chosen angel or whatever they want to call the twat.
I've always looked at Americans as being, and us comparison, as brawn and brain. They like to be big and hard, and we like to think about it. We're not.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And I mean, they were that. Some of them there than us. They were even saying, they all think there's about 60 people living in UK.
Yeah.
You're not Denton.
Oh, I'm from the UK. Hey, do you know Joe?
Yeah.
Used to live just. Yeah. We met him last week.
You know Paul Denton from Essex. How the hell do I know him? Anyway.
Yeah,
I had
met
them
him
on
last
one day,
week.
you know. I had them on, and I said, "You can pay to go and have tea with Queen, you know. I can get you in. Can you? Can you?" And they were believing me. How the
They
bloody hell
would
can
do.
I get to have tea with Queen? But that's their mentality. In America, you can pay and get anything you want.
Yeah.
You know, whereas in this country,
AIDS,
we don't do that.
rickets,
You know.
polio. I don't know.
Aye,
Basically,
aye.
oh no, I'm not going. I'll keep that one for. I've got a thing just popped in my head, and it's not going to come out my mouth, so I'll keep it for next week, because it'll be everybody will be talking about it next week.
All right.
So there you go.
And what's the weather been like with down your way this week?
Do you know it was a bit nippy this morning, but it's the sun's been cracking the pavement today.
Has it?
It's been
It's been
cracking.
warm?
Yeah, it
Well,
really has.
we've had about 2 days of non-stop rain. But it feels here like we've gone from summer to winter, skipped
Yeah.
autumn because it's coming dark really fast.
Well, it's the autumn equinox today, isn't it?
All right, what's that mean?
Well, it's the quarter of the year. You know, you have the summer solstice, which is an equinox, and you have the winter solstice, which is another equinox. Well, you have the autumn one in September. Well, today, basically, and I don't know how it's how the seasons are all worked out, because you always know that, you know, when they're doing the weather, they'll start saying, well, it's the first day of autumn tomorrow. I think nowhere near bloody autumn, but it's meteor, that big word, you know.
Yes.
Meteor, that word.
I put heating on the other day, first time this year.
Never off, Bobby.
And well, you get free heating, don't you, bugger? It's on it rain, you moved there.
It is.
How are you getting on with your brother? Are you seeing out there?
He's gone to France today.
All right.
With my sister.
Not to visit family or out?
No. Well, hopefully. The only family we've got in France, they're in Coppins.
Oh, and how you doing with your newfound family? You still keeping in touch?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Looking, I'm gradually saving up to get myself a ticket to get across.
Right.
But yeah, it's okay.
I bet they've got snow already in bloody Scotland.
What?
Then somebody's on about first snow. I bet Scotland's
Snow.
already got.
All right.
I bet Scotland's already got the first snow. Somewhere. Have you ever been to Scotland?
Yeah.
There's somewhere I've never been. I don't know what it is.
I did.
I always see.
I did a 4-month. 4-month thing just outside Abbeymoor.
All right.
On some, I don't know what you call them, Laird's property or whatever. He had this great big lump of Scotland, and a big housey thing. And I was with the engineers at the time, and we went up to Scotland and stayed for, I think, 4 months at this Laird's property.
Mm-hmm.
We went up. When I say we, I didn't. I went up to feed the troops, but the troops went up to build a dam at the top of this mountainy thing,
right?
Big hill, whatever you want to call it, and they built a great big dam to dam the water for the estate, and then they built, they upgraded the road network within the thing and added a couple of bridges, Bailey bridges, stuff like that. So yeah, it was well worth staying. It was a good 4 months. I enjoyed it. Cold, but it was bloody nice.
Right.
I'll give it. Yeah, it was nice.
So
we used to get what's those antler animal things, Bambi animals. We used to get them come down every morning from the hills down to the back of the big building we were in,
right?
Because food was put out for them every morning,
right?
at the back of the building, and they used to all
were they
come. You
friendly
see them
then?
all coming down. Yeah,
Were they
yeah,
friendly?
amazing.
They will have been friendly, won't they, if you were feeding them?
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't come up and chat with you, but you know, they came down just to eat and then piss up again,
So-
back up into the wild, the
So
wander.
when
or
you
whatever
did
you call
your
it.
time in Army, you were part of, I don't know what it is, catering corps. Is that what it? No,
Yeah, I was Army Catering Corps.
is that it?
So
Right.
yeah, I was Army Catering Corps,
Right.
and within the army, there's a few corps, you know, and you would have like transport. So the people who drove all the wagons and shit like that about, they were called Royal Corps of Transport.
Right.
Then you had Army Catering Corps, and you had a few corps that you were in, but then you were seconded to different units.
Right. So,
You know,
so
so
if war broke out and you were needed as a soldier,
uh-huh,
what would that make you? What would you be there?
dead.
Well, obviously you get posted somewhere, but you're not
Well,
going to
yeah,
if you were going to fight, they won't post you there as a bloody catering corps, would they?
yeah, they would. Yeah, you are. You're a cook. You have you know, the people who are fighting have to be fed.
But you would have trained to be a soldier.
Oh yeah, you were a soldier first. I'm not saying, you know.
Right.
You were a soldier first. Like I was telling you a few weeks ago when I was in Northern Ireland. You know, we used to do shifts in Northern Ireland. I was a cook feeding the engineers.
Right.
And the engineers used to go out and do, you know, the engineering things, but they also did vehicle checkpoints and things like that.
Right.
You know, and we were on a rota system, so I would go in the kitchen, let's say 6 o'clock in the morning, and then 4 hours later, I'd be out on the road doing
I remember you saying
vehicle
that.
checkpoints, and then we'd come back after 4 hours on the road, and we go back into the kitchen for 4 hours.
Right.
And then you'd have your 4 hours off, where you went and got in a bed.
Oh, you were about
where one of the other
beds,
soldiers have just got out.
I couldn't do
So
that.
you never got in a cold bed. It was always warm. I was quite lucky because it was never wet. But
so there were plenty of, at that time, you had plenty of variety there, didn't you? Plenty different.
well, yeah. So I murdered a few steaks and I shot at a few Irish gits. So life was good as such.
Yeah,
so
because I knew that everybody who joins the army, regardless of what corps you're going or whatever, is it corps?
Yeah, well, yeah, you've got
division.
corps, you've got battalions, you've got well, divisions are different. Their divisions are a conglomerate of regiments and whatever.
Everybody does that square bashing where they have to train as a soldier.
Yeah.
A soldier.
Well, when I first went in, the first 3 months, I never saw a kitchen.
See you, Gilly. Gilly looks like she's.
See you, Gilly. Bye. I never saw a kitchen. Didn't go into a classroom, catering classroom at all. Mm-hmm. It was 3 months of square bashing, how to march and shoot and run and whatever. And then after the 3 months, then you would do you'd do it like 2 weeks schoolwork. When I say school, I mean, army catering school, not adding and subtracting. You still did all that shit, but so you would go and learn how to boil eggs and all that kind of, ooey booey stuff. And then you'd do a week back square bashing and learning first aid and, all that type of shit. Yeah. So you were a soldier first and you were a cook second.
Mm. I know. As I said, my father said, and my uncle as well. He said, same. He says that first 3 months is a killer. He says it's what they call square bashing. He says you'll become a soldier, and he says if they say turn on a if they say sit down, stand up, sit down, you do it. You don't question
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He says it's a nightmare. They have you do it up at silly times and all sorts. But he says it's all about discipline that first 3 months.
Well, you know, it's I did in training because I was going for I was going to say a career, but it wasn't a career. I was going for a trade. So I've been it was like going to college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I did 3 years at college as a soldier and a cook, if you know what I mean. And it was, you know, shouting at you all the time, marching here and there, blah, 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 blah. But once you left, it changed.
That's what my father said.
You know, once I mean, I went to my first posting from Aldershot was to an RAF, an old RAF station, which had a barracks on it, and it was the York and Lancaster Regiment, and I was sent to them for my first posting as a 17.5-year-old, or just coming on 18. My first posting was to the York and Lancaster Regiment at North Weald in Essex,
right
down Bibby's way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Labour got in and disbanded half the fucking army, and all these regiments went and amalgamated, and loads of people got bollocked or whatever. And I moved again, but I totally lost the plot because I've forgotten what I was talking about. But I was talking about once I got to this York and Lancaster Regiment at North Weald, not once did I have to go on parade. Not once.
No.
Yet where I'd left 3 weeks earlier, you were on parade at 6 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
You know, and then I got posted, left the schooly bit, went there, and never, not once, had to do square bashing or be on parade or get, you know, whatever. I had to still do, you know, some army gear. You know, you have to get dressed up, get your gun, and go on the range and stuff like that. But totally different. Totally different.
My dad was in RAF, and he said that first 3 months, the worst thing you could do is question why. If you did that, you were in big trouble. He says, no matter how daft it is, what they tell you to do it. And he says, in the first couple of days, you learnt that fast. He says, you learnt that fast. And he said to me, he says, if anybody didn't have their bed and their locker exactly done how it should do, they'd come in, he says, they'd come in, he had a stick and he'd turn it up, throw it up floor, it'd be all over, and he'd say, right, you can all follow me. And he'd have them all taking theirs off, and he'd say, right, we'll start again. And all the lot would have to do it just because of one of them. He says, you learned how to be a team player. He says, so when you were doing your boots without anything, he said, you'd be looking out for each other, saying, hey, don't miss that, don't miss this, because you didn't want to have to suffer as well.
Yeah. So, you know, many a time I've had my bedding and mattress oiked out the window when I was young. You know, when I was in training, many a time it went out the window. Not just mine, the whole room's beds will have gone out the window. If it wasn't exactly right, if it didn't measure, you know, they come in with a template, a measuring template, and you used to have to make I can't explain how you did it, but you used to have to make your bed into a block, you know, your bedding into a block. So your bed wasn't made.
Right.
You know, you might have made it at night, got in, you know, and then in the morning when you got out, you took your sheets off, folded them up, and it went into a block.
Right.
And it was a specific size. And your pillow had to be on the top. You had two pillows. They had to be on the top, and it had to be, you know, exactly right. And they came in with this template. And if it wasn't right, they'd rip it to bits. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But like I say, that that instills into you. I don't know what you can call it, really.
My uncle said to me, he says, "But once you've done that, then you got a different deal altogether."
Yeah.
And because of what you'd learnt first 3 months, you knew how to respect other people.
No, you're not wrong.
So you'd work as a team automatically from that because you knew that that's what it were all about. But it was a different story. So once you get through that, you're okay. But
yes, Chegs, the word is discipline.
Discipline.
But again, you had to, you had to learn everything. They taught you how to iron, how to wash your clothes, how to iron your clothes, how to hang them up, how to do your locker. Everything was.
Well,
this is how you do it.
I remember
this is what you do.
Yeah, when
you
go on.
The army, the old army gear that you wore, because we wore gear from the First World War.
Right.
All our webbing and stuff like that was from the First World War, and of course our army uniforms were the same stuff they wore in the First World War.
Right.
And you had to iron them and all that, but you learn little tricks, and one of the tricks I learned was using a bar of soap. You'd turn your trousers inside out, and where the line was for your crease, you'd rub soap on it, open it up, lay them out, and iron it, and the soap would stick. So you'd have really, really tight creases.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have ever occurred to me.
No.
But,
That's what Clary's saying there, what I was going to say. That's why my dad always ironed his own shirts and polished his shoes for work.
Yeah.
Well, my dad, he used to, shut up, I told you, didn't I?
Yeah.
My dad used to iron his own shirts, and he used to press his trousers, and he used brown paper.
Yeah.
And
brown paper.
He used to say to me, and I thought this is extreme. It's when he used to put his feet up on fireplace, and he wanted his bloody pants to stay up with crease. He says that's a proper crease in your pants if it stays still.
Yeah.
It
was same as shirts. When we came to iron our shirts, we used to have a crease across the back of the shirt, from your armpit to your other armpit. There was a crease there.
Right.
So you had to have a crease in your shirt there.
Right.
And then you had to have a crease halfway between your shoulder and your crease, your other crease. So you'd have a double line of creases on the back of your shirt.
Right.
Yeah, it's just all bullshit, isn't it, really?
Well, it is and it isn't. What's that? Oh, Scott's going, look. He's off to set up.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Well, I'll jump over.
We'll be on. We'll be finished in 5 minutes, and we
will.
Scott,
that guys, he's back and he's flying. He's going places.
Evening, Tom. You're late, mate. Where you been?
Yeah, well,
there's no time.
Oh, that's on us. I missed it all. We went out to press trousers, iron shirts.
We have, yeah, iron shirts. So I used to have to sew my own stuff. What's that word? Not so. Darn. I used to have to darn
your own stuff.
No, nobody'd ever darn nowadays, would they?
No.
But I had to do when I was young.
We've all worn darn. And
I mean, part of our equipment. I can remember now lining up in the quartermaster stores when I first joined up, and you had to go along this line, and it'd say, what size hat are you? I don't know. Oh, you look an 8 to me. Here, how tall? I don't know. Oh, well, you look this. There's uniform. And as you got towards the end, it would be, here's your knife and fork and spoon. Here's
Right.
your mug, and here's your thing to eat in. I forgot what you call them. Those metally things.
Yeah.
Mess tin.
Mm.
And then last thing you got was a housewife.
Right.
And I stood there, and you could hear as I'm coming down the queue. Yeah, 2 shirts, 2 underpants, 2 this, 2 that, 2 whatever. And then you could hear the bloke at the end saying, "And finally, here's your housewife." And I think, "I'm giving you fucking women. What's this all about?" And when you get there, it's a cloth thing, and when you open it up, it's got pins in, all stuff for sewing, and
Yeah. A kit.
and that's what was that they called it, a housewife.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. Anyway, we're coming up to 8 o'clock, people.
I just want to say
and
that Tom's been for a meal, a steak with his missus. That's why he's late.
That's nice. I had a steak the other
I hope
day.
you enjoyed
it was
mate.
A mistake, but I mean, it was a steak. Anyway, so 8 o'clock, Kelsey, I was going to say 8 o'clock.
There's the link.
Scott Chegg is on at 8 o'clock live, and the link's there in the thing. And I've enjoyed your company, and if I've missed people out, it's because I've got the wrong glasses on and I can't read what that's saying. And when I look this way, it's so big I can't make it out. So we've loved every minute. I enjoy your company.
Yes.
And we shall be back next Monday. And just as a point of interest, I'll be back next Sunday evening at 7 o'clock for a thing I'm calling Sundays at 7.
Sundays at 7.
Sundays at 7, So
Not going to be religious, is it?
Oh, piss off.
Because I grew up with Sundays at 7.
No.
What did they call it on telly?
Can you imagine me being bloody religious, for Christ's
What
sake?
did they call it on telly? Every Sunday afternoon, wasn't it?
Heap of shit.
Everybody were watching and singing along, weren't they, on telly?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for
people. Thanks,
folks. Yes,
thanks for joining in. Thanks
before you say goodbye, Paul, I'll just say mine first because we always do it this. I just want to thank everybody coming in. You're like one big family. It's been great, and I love how you comment. And we'll read all your comments. And then if you want to put any comments down after the live, we will read them and we'll take heed for anything you want us to talk about. We will do. So I'll pass you over to Paul and I'll say goodbye for this week.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for coming. And it's don't forget, down below you can click the like or dislike. We don't care which one you click, but like it or dislike it. It all helps.
We'll see you over at Chegg's.
And we're popping over to Chegg's, and it's live long and prosper. Take care. TTFN.